Kanban is a Japanese word that translates into English roughly as sign or sign board. And when you drive by a motel on the highway and they have a neon no vacancy sign, that is a Kanban. It tells you whether that motel has capacity to provide you their service. And consider the drive-through at your local fast food restaurant. That is also a Kanban. An empty queue signals to you they can provide immediate service. Or the queue may contain a few cars and plenty of other signals that help you forecast how long you might wait for their service. And there's an entry point where you place your order and pay for the products, and then you drive forward to retrieve the finished meal. Notice that there are clear policies made visible in this example, where the order begins and ends, and there's a limit on the number of vehicles that can be served simultaneously. The time required to produce each meal and the rate of the vehicles exiting the system can be easily measured. And those measurements can be used to estimate average throughput, maximum capacity, or the ideal balance of staff to serve the flow of customers. Furthermore, the restaurant can observe those metrics and experiment with new ways to arrange the kitchen or to prepare the products. That is a Kanban system. In a physical system like that, it's easy to point out those characteristics and metrics. But what about intangible systems, like product development teams? Well, with a little modeling and careful consideration, we can define and visualize the workflow. How does a piece of work begin? Where does it end? What is the limit of work items that can be served simultaneously? And the people involved, they can experiment to find optimal ways to collaborate or to share their skills, and how best to coordinate their work. And they can manage stakeholder expectations by clearly revealing how much capacity they have available and how much time is usually required to complete a work item from request to release, or from concept to cash. So many teams struggle to balance the demand for their service with their actual capacity. They suffer bottlenecks where incomplete work stops, it gets blocked or delayed. And their priorities are unclear because so much of the work is in progress, but actually it's just waiting. They're trying to do 15 things at the same time, but everything takes 15 times as long. And so their customers never really know the level of service to expect. Imagine that motel. The neon sign just blinks randomly, half of the rooms are empty but not yet cleaned and ready for new customers. Or imagine that drive-through restaurant. The cars just force their way like monster trucks driving on top of each other. And the vehicles just keep piling up. And I know that that sounds crazy, but it's really the common mode of operation for so many teams that I meet. Kanban isn't easy for most companies. When I teach people about Kanban, they often describe it as radical common sense. And so I like to think of Kanban as a set of agreements, simple ways to visualize workflow, help people contribute with their complementary skills, and help bring focus to the work so that people can enjoy getting more done rather than just getting more started.